Wow. 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 3-0 without a single response. Haaland, I bragged about you that you're going to score at least one goal. Unfortunately, second half they had to ship you off. It's okay. There is enough to be hopeful for. Or really, where do we start from? I mean, you're the champion of England, so it's not the special performance we didn't expect. I didn't expect lesser from you, right? So it's okay. It's okay. By the way, it's just a preseason game. The season has not yet started. We've seen teams who started, who played so well in preseason, and then the season starts and they start to fumble. So I won't take this one to heart. Meanwhile, there's a whole lot of retrospecting that Maresca and the City needs to do. To be honest, the way City played today, we are not ready yet. I don't see us ready to challenge, for the Premier League trophy. To be honest, I'm going to be frank. I don't see us ready. There's a whole lot of glitches that need sorting. I'll just give my takes quickly, both on Arsenal and on Man City. And for Arsenal, I'd say they really look sharp and confident. I said it yesterday, in my previous video that they're gonna come with that mindset that they're the champion of England and they would want to push again. And honestly, it was evident the way they came at City from the first minute. I mean, look at the first goal. Just take a look at that. In 24 seconds, they had their first goal. 24 seconds. I don't know if there's any other record that beats that, And then City was able to get back in control. But City, every time they attacked, there was no decisiveness in the attack, in all honesty. Right? The possession, it wasn't as far, right, as I thought. I thought probably Arsenal would dominate possession, maybe like 60-40 or 70-30 or something like that. But it was pretty fair, 50 something to 40 something thereabout. So then when you look at Arsenal's pressing, honestly, it gives it a lot of problems. They are so sharp, decisive. Sometimes you are really wondering, how is City going to get out of this block? I mean, but City, they're pretty experienced in passing out from the back. And Arsenal pressing really, really, really looks so sharp. And it's going to cost, if they can maintain that intensity, I see them really going for the title push again this season. I mean, as I said it already, they're the favorites for it. The pressure is on them to live up to, So Havertz, Gyökeres. That's a lot of question. I mean, that's a question a lot of people are going to be asking. Who's going to be starting? Havertz or Gyökeres? You can see there are two different kinds of players, right? But in terms of outcome, you can see that Havertz it produces, right, more goals. Yeah, people say he's sluggish, is this, but at the end of the day, you see him delivering. He will somehow just find himself a chance and convert. I think his conversion rate somehow, even though he's not an auto, a pure natural 9, right? But his conversion rate still seem to be kind of ahead of Gyökeres. And now with rumor about Osimhen coming in, I don't know how that's gonna play out. Osimhen, Gyökeres, Havertz. For me, if Osimhen eventually comes in, that means most likely Gyökeres. They'll probably have to sell Gyökeres, so it's going to be Osimhen and Havertz. But having the three of them, because if Osimhen comes in, he is definitely going to be starting, no doubt about that. So, anyways, Havertz was able to really convert that header. You can trust Havertz and headers. He's pretty solid with that. We saw I think he scored 1-2 in the Champions League final, if I'm correct. I think so. Whether it's a header or, I can't totally recall it. recollect. Excuse me. So overall, Arsenal is really, really, really looking amazing, and they're the team to beat. To be honest, they're the team to beat, and a lot of and they're really going to do great this season. They will do amazingly well. And going to City, oh City, I was placing my bet on City's attack to cause problem for Arsenal, but we never really caused any problem. The only player, only which takes me automatically to my next point. Doku is going to be critical for City this season. Unfortunately, he came out of second half. He came off in the second half injured. You could see when we were, Grealish came in for him, and then they showed the video of him with ice on his calf. I hope it's nothing serious because Doku is is that main guy that can really cause trouble. Look at those chances he was creating. It was really the only one that created meaningful chances aside from that shot that Foden had and all of that. But in terms of creating chances, right, it was really the only one really giving or looking as if it was going to give Arsenal's defense the problem. So Duke is going to be very, very critical for City this season. No doubt about that. Because Haaland still needs to be fed. He's not the Mamouche kind of player. And that's why, honestly, I really wish Mamouche stays and I wish he's given lots of playing time. Stop that stuff. Doku is going to be very, very critical to City's push for whatever success it is this season. It was the only one you could see that was really trying to cause Arsenal's defensive problem. Whenever Doku has the ball, there's this excitement that builds. I mean, you just know, oh my God, he's going to do something. And his take ons are so amazing and so interesting to watch, to be honest. So interesting to watch. And you could see it was the one dribble pass. I don't know. I think Ben White. He and Ben White easily. Ben White is his wife. Honestly, he's always anytime, any day. Ben White is always unable to take care of Doku. It's always Gabriel who usually has that ginger. Anytime he dispossesses him, you always see him celebrating it. So Doku is going to be critical to City's success this season. And then Elliot Anderson, I was expecting a level of dominance in midfield. And at some point, I was for like an extended period of minutes. It was almost non-existent. I didn't even see him on the pitch somehow. So I think my result for that is that he needs a solid defensive midfielder behind him, honestly. And Kovacic is not it. Kovacic and Elliot in that midfield was it was not solid enough. And what do I mean? Kovacic kept on making mistakes. I really hope that's not the form is going to go into the season with. I hope so. He carried the ball more. He carried the ball more, tried to distribute the passes, but they were dispossessing him. He gave off one or two passes. I mean, gave away one or two passes. And anytime Kovacic was the ball, I was a little bit nervous. Like, oh, boy, I hope this guy's not gonna, do something weird and all of that. So, I think for either Kovacic to thrive or Elliot Anderson to thrive, we need a solid DMF. Since Rodri's case should be closed and City needs to go for a DMF ASAP, a solid DMF, probably Onana from Aston Villa. We need someone of that, stature and someone who would really command that midfield so that what's it called? So that Elliot can thrive, so that Foden can thrive, and if Kovacic is coming into the fold, and you know, aside from that, leaving Kovacic and Elliot Anderson at the heart of that midfield, honestly, whenever they may, I mean, get away with smaller teams, but when we face top teams, it's going to be very, very difficult. That's just the fact. It's going to be very, very difficult. So, what else is my take? I don't feel like we are ready. I don't feel like we are ready. Maybe the players are still trying to absorb Maresca's ideology and still trying to really understand what he's trying to say, because all I was still seeing in City style of play was still Pep. I was still seeing Pep, literally. I mean, when you look at a bunch of players, they were all literally signed by Pep. So it's still that Pep style they were still playing. So, as the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I know it's going to take some time to really absorb Maresca's style of play. What I really saw distinctively in the preseason, which I said in my previous video, was that the wingers were so direct, so direct, and I saw that more in Semenyo. But now, of course, playing Arsenal is different from playing, I was at the A League, team that we played um, in one of the teams we played in preseason. There's a difference. So Semenyo he tried. There were sparkles. There were moments of him, making some moves, and somehow I love his confidence on the ball. I love his attempt to try to force a pass into the final third and all of that. So overall, City's readiness for the new season, I would say 65%. Honestly, 65%. For Arsenal, I would say 85 to 90%. Honestly, I mean, you saw Bruno Guimaraes as well. It wasn't all over, the place and all of that. But then, I mean, look at that Odegaard's goal. Kai, I said it too, that Bruno and Declan Rice in that midfield, the Odegaard in front of them, it's just look at that goal, the way he meshed up Donnarumma. That is world class. That is world class. That is in AFC terms. That is ultimate. You know world class, you have world class difficulty, you have legendary, then you have ultimate. That is ultimate. I mean, the calmness to fake shot Donnarumma was just out of this world. Immediately I saw that, I just dropped my head like, God, you know. And finally, City's defense, communication, and that mental alertness. Look at that go by Havertz. It's like Kusanov just switched off, for a second. So for me overall, City still needs one or two signings, most notably at the defensive midfielder position. We need a solid player there, and maybe one more winger, one more winger would do. Maybe a left winger. I don't know if Semenyo can really fully consistently deliver. I don't know, honestly. And Semenyo's build sometimes it looks a little bit heavy sometimes. I mean, but he's a fantastic player. No, I enjoy seeing him on the ball, to be honest. You know. So I think that's it overall. Kudos and congrats to Arsenal once again for getting their hands on their first trophy, which is the Community Shield. Um, Looking forward to an amazing season ahead. Awesome.